Mr. Scott with us today. Thank you so much for coming onto my YouTube channel. How are you doing, Mr. Scott?
I'm doing great, Anik. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Now, let's start with the first question. We just wrapped up Super Bowl 56. How has the Super Bowl helped spread the love of NFL to new groups of fans, from women to kids and people from different backgrounds and countries?
Well, the Super Bowl, as you probably know, is like the biggest event that happens in sports and on TV and in our pop culture every single year. And so I think it's the one sporting event that literally everybody pays attention to and everybody an appointment to watch it. And this year over 110 million people got together at the same time and watched the Super Bowl. And that is many, many, many times larger than any audience that watched anything in the last 2 years, I think. So that's a big deal. And I think that because people of all ages and all across the country pay attention to it, it makes people excited about what football represents and what championship football represents. It does not, ironically enough, it is not as big a deal outside of our country. There are a lot of more and more NFL fans in England and in Mexico and in Australia, because the NFL has done a good job in sending teams to play games over in those countries during the regular season. And so, as I think over the years, the Super Bowl will be even a bigger deal in other countries too.
Totally agree. And that's a lot of people that watch the Super Bowl. That is a lot.
Unbelievable. Nothing comes close. Nothing.
Yeah, nada. I have heard a lot of grown-ups watch the Super Bowl just to see the commercials. Why is that?
Well, I am one of those grown-ups who watches the Super Bowl, who pays a lot of attention to the commercials because my profession is marketing. So I have made commercials all my adult life. That has been my job. And so I've always paid attention to it. But even when I was your age, I would watch the Super Bowl for the excitement of the game, but I would not go away during the commercials because American businesses will make a very big deal out of their Super Bowl commercial because they know so many people are watching and it's such an important moment that they will spend millions and millions of dollars to make the commercial and then millions and millions of dollars to run the commercial, to buy the time in the Super Bowl. And so because it's so important, it's such an important moment that every marketer brings their most exciting idea to the Super Bowl. And there are whole marketers' careers that you think that, a quarterback's career is made by the Super Bowl. A marketing person's career is made by the Super Bowl too. And you would always want to say, oh, I had one of my commercials run on the Super Bowl. That's a very big deal to be able to say.
Yeah, and millions dollars, that's really expensive. And I totally agree with you. What kinds of activities have you been involved with the NFL and the Super Bowl?
So me personally, well, in my career, I've marketed a lot of television brands. I was the head of marketing for CNN and for TNT and for the Weather Channel and for Motor Trend. I've done a lot of marketing work for television, but only a few times have I actually been able to go to a Super Bowl event myself. I've never missed it on TV, but I've only attended a few times. But the most fun one I went to was the 2000 Super Bowl because it was here in Atlanta, Georgia, where I live, and it was very exciting game. It was the Rams were in St. Louis still at the time, and they were playing the Titans. I think it was the Tennessee Titans. But the MVP of the game was Kurt Warner, who the Rams quarterback, and he was a very big deal, and he had a great story behind him about his, he had a lot of setbacks early in his career, and then he had a major comeback. I think they're going to make a movie about his life coming out in the next year. But that was a very big deal. It was very exciting. Being in the crowd of the Super Bowl is amazing. It is an amazing, amazing experience. Uh, but it's also amazing to watch it on television. You're up close to the field, and you get to watch the halftime show from this incredible place. It's really fun.
Kurt Warner is a great quarterback for what I have known. And yeah. And also, there was another Super Bowl, Patriots and the Rams. The Patriots won. Why did you not like that?
No, I do. I do. I wanted to mention Kurt Warner because I know I watch your show, and I know that you're a very, very, very big Tom Brady fan. And so I would always want you to be aware of other players who are also excellent, who are also great.
Huh. What other ways is the NFL using to continue to grow around the world?
Well, the NFL is doing a really interesting thing in that they have the international series that they do. So they have some regular season games that take place in London and in Mexico City, and I think in 2022 there'll also be a game in Germany. But they've also just set up something where they're allowing teams or encouraging teams to set up marketing campaigns in other countries, in certain other countries. I think England and Canada and Australia and Mexico and Spain and Germany. There might be more, but at least in those six countries, the NFL and specific NFL teams are going to do stuff in those countries to basically create a fan base, a bigger fan base, because they really, really want American football, because of course, if you say football in another country, that sometimes means soccer, but they want American football to be a very big deal all over the world. So they are trying now with the international series.
I was just about to say the same answer. You read my mind.
I'm trying to stay one step ahead of you, Anik.
Well, good luck with that.
I know, it'd be impossible.
Any special memories of the NFL games, including the Super Bowl, you would like to share?
I think what's amazing about the Super Bowl is the fact that almost every aspect of the 3 or 4 or 5 hours you spend with it, if you start to watch the pre-games, is memorable. I mean, the singing of the national anthem is always very important and very memorable. The obviously the events on the field, the play is fantastic. Sometimes, but often, it is fantastic to watch these people do what they do. The halftime show is very important. The commercials are important, and if you're really lucky, you'll have a game that really doesn't get decided until the fourth quarter, and that people are paying attention right up to the very, very end. And those are the most exciting. I mean, what happens today? There's people have a lot of involvement with the Super Bowl, more than they've ever had, because again, with the commercials, because that's what I focus on. It used to be that nobody showed the commercials. You wouldn't know any of those commercials until the night of the Super Bowl. So as you were watching the Super Bowl, every commercial you saw was the first time you saw it. But now with social media, a lot of companies will post their Super Bowl commercial like a week ahead of time or 2 weeks in advance. Sometimes they'll post little teases for their commercial or just a clip from their commercial, and they'll treat it like they're going to premiere a big movie. So that's exciting too. So people get involved in the Super Bowl like weeks before the Super Bowl happens, because they're like, oh, what's going to when they announce who's going to do the halftime show, that's a very big deal. When they announce who's going to sing the national anthem, that's a big deal. So there's a lot. I think everybody just loves thinking about it and loves watching it and loves talking about it afterwards.
Yeah, my favorite ad was the Doritos ad, and I don't know if you saw that one. And there were some animals in it, and they were doing a little bit of beatboxing.
Yes, there was beatboxing. You liked it.
I definitely loved it. What was your favorite ad?
It's funny. Sometimes my favorite ad is the ad that's just a big surprise. And there were a couple that I thought were very surprising. One was not an ad that a lot of people did not like, which was the ad for Coinbase, which just showed a QSR code go across the screen. And it was not a beautiful ad, but it was very interesting because they paid like $6 or $7 million to run that ad. And then it took you a while to figure out, like, am I going to do I do it? Do I not? And I'm always interested when an ad makes you think like that. But the ad that I got the biggest kick out of, I'm sure it was not on your radar, but there was an ad about crypto, and it was with Larry David, and who was denying that crypto was ever good. Like he was always saying things were not going to be a big deal, and they turned out to be a big deal. And he was saying that crypto was not going to be a big deal. So I laughed out loud with that ad. Like the whole ad made me laugh. So I enjoyed a lot of them, though.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for coming onto my YouTube channel.
Well, thank you, Anik. Now, what are you doing for the off season? Are you still going to be talking about the league before the preseason starts?
Definitely will be talking about the league, but still a while till the training camp starts.
Yes, there is still a while before that. Well, listen, have a great spring. And I will look forward to all of your episodes.
Thank you, Mr. Scott, for coming on my channel. Stay in touch. I really appreciate you coming on. Bye.